very muggy day today. I do not like mugginess. I'd rather it was just hot and sunny or piss down and freezing cold, not in between. Right, now we've got to get out this parking space. Electric handbrake, which I'm not the biggest fan of, if I'm quite honest, but we have many parking sensors to get this rather large wagon out of here. Right, what's up guys? So today you join me from the driver's seat of my mum's 2006 Land Rover Discovery 3. Now I wanted to grab her car for a review because I think there's many things we need to go over regarding this car. Now this has the 2.7 litre turbo diesel engine producing around 188 brake horsepower with, I think it's 325 Newton meters of torque, which means you've got a fantastic torque figure for towing if you really wish to. Now this one is a manual with the cloth interior. My personal opinion, I would always buy a automatic version of a bigger car. So this car I would have bought in an automatic. My mum though, she opted for the manual because she prefers it, which is understandable, and she wanted to tow a horse box when she could, so obviously the manual gearbox would have been the better idea. Not that she actually does any of that, but it's nice to know you can. Ooh, racing Skoda. She opted for the cloth interior because, to be honest, it's easier to clean. Got dogs, all that sort of business. Cloth interior is going to be a little bit easier to actually clean up when they're shitting all over the place or being sick. To drive though, I'm probably going to go off more when I had my Porsche Cayenne. A lot of you may or may not know that I used to own a Porsche Cayenne for a couple of months. Pretty much bankrupted me, so I sold it. It was fun while it lasted. That's my big thing with these trucks. They're very expensive to run, and when they do go wrong, they're pretty expensive to fix. So this one has the optional Harman Kardon sound system, which sounds fantastic. It's got a sub in the back so you can crank it right up. It's got speakers everywhere. Driving wise, compared to my Cayenne, it feels a lot bigger inside than my Cayenne did, and your driving position just seems to be a lot more around you. The mirrors are huge on it. The bonnet sort of goes right over, but you can see where the bonnet ends, which is quite nice. On the Cayenne you can't. The back is obviously way back there, so your parking sensors will come into effect once you want to start reversing into driveways and other places like that, because to be honest, looking in the mirrors you can't really tell where the car ends. You can see where the wheel arches are, but I know full well this car has a relatively big overhang at the back. Now this being the 2006 model means it's the Discovery 3. A lot of problems with these, I must admit, although my mum has only experienced a couple of the said problems. One of which being that the electronic handbrake stuck on. So it's stuck on, she put it up and it's stuck on the driveway. RAC man had to come and fix that. Had to take the car away to get that redone. I don't quite know what he did, but he was able to release it on the spot and you know, drive it away. Hill start, easy enough. The clutch isn't heavy at all considering the size of the car. It's quite manageable, especially on a hill like that. The accelerator, it's got a bit of force to it. You do have to put your foot right down to get anywhere in this. I do feel that it's very lumpy to drive. It's very big and the acceleration isn't really there. You really have to jam your foot down to get the turbo going and waft down the road. Power! But don't get me wrong, this is not the idea of this car. It still definitely shifts and it's got, you know, the power or the torque figure to pull whatever you fancy behind it. Obviously being four-wheel drive as well, you've got the off-road capabilities, which to be honest, anybody that actually buys one of these will never find that out. The only thing they will find out is what it feels like on a gravel driveway. Let's be honest, you're never going to actually go off-roading in this. Although from the Top Gear, you know, things that I've seen, it makes a good off-roader, don't get me wrong, it makes a great off-roader, but I just don't think that's what this car is all about. We're going through some Fords, it's happening. We're right off-roaders now, aren't we? Obviously we're going through some Fords to test out how this car goes through a Ford. Obviously I won't be taking my mum's car off-road, thrashing it around, all that sort of good stuff. I'll leave that to the proper off-roader guys, shall I? If a Ford did come up, I'd hope that this car could just waft straight through it. So, nice little Ford here. Looks relatively deep. Oh, fuck me, that's well deep. And straight through, no worries. Didn't even flinch. So guys, as it stopped raining, let's have a little look round this Discovery 3. Now, obviously, in my opinion, if you're going to buy one of these, buy a black one. I like the black. The black is my favourite. Especially with the tinted windows, it just sort of works. From the standard car though, we have changed a couple of things. The front grille is more of a facelift grille with the black badges. I prefer that a lot more than the black body coloured slatted one that was in there originally. Coming around the side, you've got the 20-inch Range Rover Sport wheels that we put on, powder coated in a sort of a gunmetal grey. Sets the car off so much better than the standard 19s. Wrapped in some lovely Pirelli tyres. Coming around the front, private plate that they've just put on. They're fans of K9, so K9 fan. I actually forced them to buy that because I thought it would look really good on here. Coming around the side, obviously I've done a little bit of off-roading. I've gone down a lane basically, so it will show up lovely on this black car. But altogether, obviously this has sort of been brought up a little bit through me going through the Ford just a minute ago. Obviously these are on air suspension, so you're able to sort of drop it down as you wish or bring it right up to your desired ride height, like so. When you fancy going a little bit off-road, like I am right now on this piece of grass, that's off-roading. Coming around the back, I do like the style of these though. When they came out, we had an older one, so it had the cut here, so it had the top window there, had the back window there, and I at the time preferred that to this. Then I saw one of these in the flesh and I loved this bit. I'm not quite sure why, but it just gives a good sort of size with the back window. Obviously, I will have to say, if these aren't tinted, it looks so wrong. When you see one that's like, say, silver with a beige interior and non-tinted windows, it just completely, it does nothing for the shape of the car. Blacking it all out and having the tinted windows really works. Also coming around the side, we have changed these. They originally got a sort of a thing here with Discovery on it with black slats in it and stuff. It looks better with that and the front grille in the same sort of silvery mesh. It just sort of facelifts the car. Obviously this being the 2006 means that it would have had slatted grills. Only one side, that side's got a grill in it, so it just sort of brings the car up a little bit, makes it look a little bit newer. So let's jump inside, have a little look. And obviously this one has the cloth seats for various reasons, obviously doggy poo and sick and all that sort of business. I think the cloth is a little bit better to clean in my opinion. It's better to sort of keep as well. The leather, I've noticed on some of them does seem to go really quickly. But inside you're sort of met with this lovely steering wheel, which when you're driving is really nice. It's got a nice chunky sort of feel to it. Got all the buttons on the steering wheel. You've got your mode, up and down on the volume, and then you've got your cruise control and stuff this side. In the center console you've got your high and low modes, so you can still go off-roading if you so wish to. You've got your different modes. You've got ice, trees, cactus, and of course bumpiness, because you'll definitely need them when you're using this car. You've also got hill descent and a button to lower and raise the car. I don't think that's actually that relevant to people that are buying these because they only really want to drive them around. You'll never really be using these switches in my opinion, but I could be wrong. Electronic handbrake, which I hate. I think that's such a silly idea. Trying to drive this manual this big with that electronic handbrake, I'm not all about. I'm not a big fan of that. And obviously in the middle you've got all your radio, your heated seats and stuff. Even though these are cloth, they're still heated, which is very nice. The back as well has got heated seats in it as well, so it's a big plus for the passengers in the car. Yankee Candle, black cherry, probably one of the best ones they sell in Halfords. Definitely recommend that. Coming into the back of the car, got a nice big opening. These seats actually fold down very easily like this, and you're able to pull the little tab at the back and voila, you can see what's going on underneath your seats. Obviously in the back of these actually flip up, and you have another row of seats in the back. Not the comfortablest thing in the world, but they do work, and you're still able to get 7 people in this car very easily. These people are comfy, these people are very comfy. Those guys aren't though, I don't think, especially when you're an adult size. I think this is more for children. You've got cup holders here, you've got a big storage in the back, both sides. So you're able to store all manner of crap in the back of one of these. Down here you've got your heated seat buttons, you've got your heater directional dials, and under here we have an aux cable, which is very good, so you're able to plug your aux in as you wish, and you've got a cigarette lighter for the rear passengers. It's a very good idea. Obviously in the front as well, you do have this rather large armrest with loads of space in it. Nice armrest that, I do like my good armrests. Coming around the back of the car, these obviously have the split folding tailgate, so you're able to do that and then do the bottom one. Obviously this is used for dogs and horsey gear, so you know, you can't complain for it being a little bit dirty. But yeah, I like this whole folding rear thing though, because you're able to sit here, you know, loving life, watching your whatever you do, horse racing, taking the dog for a walk, watching it take a shit, all that sort of good stuff. You can do it from sat in the back of the car, so that's a very good idea, and it very easily comes all back down. But yeah, I think overall it's a nice look, especially this one with the black wheels, the tinted windows. It looks the part. The Range Rover sport wheels work really well as well, in my opinion. And obviously the plate sort of finishes it off, sort of hides the age as well, which is quite nice. And with the facelifted grills. But yeah, nice little car. So a little first and second gear pull for us. Now don't get me wrong, I won't be revving this car out or anything, but I think the 0 to 60 on this is around 11 seconds, and don't get me wrong, it's not going to break any land speed records or 0 to 60s or drag races, but it's still got a little kick to it, around, you know, 2,000, 3,000 RPM, around to about 4.5. It's got a good pickup, so, you know, 3,000 there, it's able to sort of use its torque figure to really propel you down the road. Considering this car is around 2.4 tons, I will add, it's doing a bloody good job to get it down the road. It does corner relatively flat though, this car. For something this big, it's obviously on the air suspension, so it's able to sort of correct itself quite a lot. So if you put it into a corner, there's a little bit of lean, don't get me wrong, but it does sort of, you know, counteract the lean quite well. I do think the air suspension is very good on these, although very temperamental. This one itself has gone wrong. It's locked itself in one position and then wouldn't move for days. So that's something to note as well. And MPG wise, this is doing 29.6 MPG, so, you know, around 30 miles to the gallon, and that's round town as well. You know, my mum doesn't actually drive this anywhere else but around town and probably on a B road, so there's no real, you know, long periods of 60 to 70 mile an hour drive. Anyway guys, I hope you liked the video. Leave a comment in the comments box below what you think about the car, about the problem that she's had. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers guys.